Hi, my name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, and this is my Makeup Monday for this week. So it's Monday the 20th of November. So today I'm going to do a technique actually. My husband gave me this idea this morning. He said, why don't you try the faux silk technique? And I haven't done that for such a long time, so I thought, okay, let's do that. So that's what we're doing today. So I've actually borrowed the stamp set from Linda, my upline. I've borrowed it. It's the Forever Forest one. It's in the Holiday Mini Catalogue and it is actually being carried over. It's a bundle. It comes with dies, but it's being carried over, but it's not being carried over as a bundle. So if you want this, you need to buy it now as a bundle when you get 10% off the bundle, like, because it's a bundle price. If you wait until the catalogue retires, then you can get the stamp set and the dies separately. You won't get that 10% discount. So I've borrowed this from Linda, but I have placed my order for this one today. So I will be getting that this week sometime. So let's go down to the craft desk and we can get started. Okay, turn my other lamp on. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Alright, so this is my sample card. I made this one up. And as I said, it's the faux silk technique. I did it a long time ago, and I've got my little techniques book that I did my sample in, because when I started as a demonstrator 15 years ago, we didn't have much going on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, so I used to keep my little technique book. I used to put things in there. I haven't kept that going, because you can just Google things and get them on the internet. But this is my sample card. So I've used a few things from the mini catalogue. The trim is from the online exclusives, and that's my blind. I've got my window open. I've got a lovely breeze coming in, so my blind does sort of hit a little bit. And this is the Brightest Glow and Labels the Glow dies, stamp set and die from the annual catalogue. Really love them. So yeah, I've used some things from the mini catalogue, so we'll go through that in a minute. So in my little technique book, now we're going back a long time. This was my samples of faux silk technique, and we used to do it with the Stampin' Up! Used to have a glue stick, not this one. It was like a tacky glue. It was square, and that's the technique I used to use for attaching the tissue paper down. But I'm actually going to use adhesive sheet, because we no longer have the other glue sticks that I used to do it with. So I'm not going to try and use the Tombow glue. I think that could be a bit too messy. So I'm going to use adhesive sheets, and that's what I did on my sample card. So basically you can stamp straight onto tissue paper. You let the ink dry, and then you screw up the tissue paper and then open back out, but you don't smooth all the creases out. And then you adhere the tissue paper to your white or your vanilla cardstock. This time round I actually stamped on my cardstock underneath as well as on the tissue paper, because it sort of gave you something going on in the background, in the distance, and I quite like that. So that's what we're going to do. So you can also do it with designer series paper, but I haven't tried that. I might keep playing and try it. I think it depends on the paper as to how effective it would be. So this is the stamp set, and these are the dies. So you get a lot of dies in the bundle, and you get ones to cut out the trees, and then you get all these standalone dies. So these outline dies cut out the stamped images, and these other ones are standalone dies. So I actually, as I said, ordered it this morning, so I will get it during the week, but I had to sort of minimize how much I ordered from the mini catalogue originally, but now I know that it's carrying over. I thought, I think I'll get that. because it's very much like our old Lovely as a Tree stamp set. And it's great for masculine cards, sympathy cards, thinking of you cards. I think I'll be able to get a lot of use out of it. So let me find it in the Holiday Mini, because now I won't be able to find it. Let me. So the last chance products start on Tuesday, the 21st of November, and let me just Forever Forest, page 20. And there's up to 60% off on a couple of items. There's not a lot discounted this time round, which tells me that they might have not had an excess amount of stock in the warehouse. So that's probably good. So yeah, so this is the stamp set and dies. And the bundle, as I said, is retiring. But the stamp set and the dies are carrying over. No, but they will no longer be at a bundle. So when you buy the bundle, you get 10% off. So that's why I placed my order this morning. The other thing that we're going to use, or I've already used it, is the, let me just find it, and it is retiring. Where is it? It's an embossing folder. Here we go. It's the Christmas Tidings embossing folder on page 33. So this one here, this is it. Might be able to see it better. It's retiring, which I think is a shame because it's a really nice embossing folder. It's not a 3D one, but it's just still a beautiful embossing folder. So that will be retiring. So on Tuesday, it's not discounted, but it'll be going. So if you particularly want that, anything that's retiring will probably sell out quickly, because once it's gone, which is the way their retirement lists work. And then this is the Labels Aglow dies and the Brightest Glow stamp set from the annual catalogue, and that's what I did my greeting with. So we're going to heat emboss our greeting. So I'll just pop that over there and we can get started. So what we've got, put my sample here, is a standard A5 card base, and this one I did vanilla, very vanilla and smoky slate, and I used StazOn ink for my trees. This time I'm going to stamp with a colour. So I've got a white card base this time. Let's make sure I'm recording, yes. And I've fixed my volume. I was so close on Friday when I went into the settings on my OBS thingy. I was so close. I was in the right place. I just didn't click one more button, which was a little bit annoying. And it was the update that my computer, my laptop did the night before that set all my settings askew. Okay, so this is Boho Blue. It's 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters, and I've already embossed it with that Christmas Tidings embossing folder. Is that what it's called? Where did I put it? Honestly, how could I have lost it so quickly? Anyway, it's Christmas Tidings. There it is. It's under dies. It's the Christmas Tidings embossing folder. So as I said, if you like this embossing folder and you'd like to have it in your stash, it's probably one I'm going to hang on to because I really like it, because you can use it on portrait cards or landscape cards. It's not a directional, it's not a one-way embossing folder, and I quite like that. So that's 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters. That's going to be our card base. I'm going to do this one portrait and a little bit different with the stamping. I've got a piece of Night of Navy, and that's 8.5 centimeters by 11. I've got a piece of basic white, it's 8 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters. I've got a piece of adhesive sheet that's 8, the same as the white, 8 by 10.5 centimeters. And then I've just got a scrap of tissue paper. Now you can buy tissue paper from newsagents or probably Kmart, Hot Dollar Store. I just save tissue paper. Whenever I get tissue paper around a gift or anything, I save it and put it in my craft drawer, filing cabinet. So it is already a little bit wrinkled, but that doesn't matter. So, and I've got my gold embossing powder out ready to do my sentiment. So let's get started. We'll put that over there. We'll take off our little dimensions. So we're going to stamp on our white cardstock first. So I'm going to move that over there, and I'm going to bring in a scrap of paper. Even though we're getting to the end of November, I'll still try and keep my one with my host code relatively clean. So I'm going to use Night of Navy ink. Now, when I used to do this technique with glue, you really had to use the stays on, because the glue, because these inks are water-based, the glue would make these inks smudge. But because I'm using an adhesive sheet, I figure I can get away with not using stays on, and that's why I'm trying the classic inks. So this is my card, and I'm going to stamp this one, which is in the background here at the top, and I'm going to use the big one over on the tissue paper. So I have no idea how this one's going to turn out, but we're just going with it. There we go. So that's our Night of Navy trees there, and I shall clean as I go, because I do prefer that. Are those trees straight, or are they running downhill? They're pretty straight. We'll go with that. So the adhesive sheet, you'll find that in the annual catalogue up the back, in the tools or the adhesive section, probably where the, what's this called? It's a seal. I was going to say snail, and I knew that wasn't right. Probably where the seal is. So we're going to put that there, and then, well, actually, we're going to put that here. And we've got our tissue. I just want to get this. This is probably better. So Linda doesn't have all her stickers on her stamps, and I didn't want to try and put them on. Even though I do put my stickers on the way she does, I just thought I don't want to ruin her stamp if I don't get the sticker on properly. So that's, I'm going to put it down like so. Okay, so I have got, that's come through my paper a little bit, and I'm not really happy with that. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to stamp my other stamp again. So let me clean. The stays on didn't come through as much. So let me just clean off a stamp. If you don't have a chamois, I really love the chamois for our classic ink pads. I prefer stamp and scrub when I'm using Versamark ink. I just feel like it can get the Versamark off the stamp a little bit better than the chamois, but that's just me. That could be a me thing. I have a few me things. So let me just grab this one again, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. I should have done my stamping on my trees first, on my tissue first, but we're going to put that, I'm going to put this here. There we go. And I think I got it straighter this time, so that's even better. So remember, there's two sides to every piece of cardstock. You don't have to be restricted that you can't re-stamp. And if you mess up both sides, you just throw that piece away and get another piece out. It's very easy. Okay. So now I'm going to bring my little silicone sheet in, purely because we're working with adhesive sheet. I don't want to get it stuck onto my paper underneath. Okay, So your adhesive sheet is 6 by 12. This is the adhesive sheet. I've got little bits all cut up ready. So it's 6 by 12, and you get 12 sheets, and it's $20.25, and they come in strips. The backing is in 3 pieces, so it's quite good to have the backing like that. So I'm just going to find and peel off that bit, and I'm going to put that. Now if I bring my head in, I apologise. I'm going to put that straight on top of my stamped piece of white cardstock. I'm going to get my pokey tool to pull off the next backing piece, and then I think there's another little tiny strip down the bottom here. So this is the bit we used to do with a glue stick. Yes, there is another little bit here, and do you think, there we go. Okay. And I was not going to try and do it with the Tombow glue. I thought that is not going to be a thing. So I'm just burnishing that onto the cardstock so it sticks nicely and securely. And I've got blue on me everywhere. That's a sign of a stamper, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to get my tissue paper, and I was just making sure that that ink had dried, and I'm going to scrunch it all up. That will freak some people out. I'm just going to pull it all open. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to lift the backing, peel the backing off my adhesive sheet. Just got to get a pokey tool. It's just like pulling the backing off a sticker. Okay, put that back onto my silicone mat, and then I'm going to get my tissue, and I want these trees to come right down to the bottom. And I'm just going to pat it down with all those crinkles still in place. Now, I have got a little bit of overstamping here, but I'll put an embellishment on that, I think. I think we'll get away with that. So I'm not smoothing all the creases out because we want it to look like crushed silk or crushed linen. Can you see that effect? So that's my little bit of overstamping, but I'm going to put a bit of bling on that. Okay, then just get some scissors, turn it over, and see there's a prototype. I'll get rid of that. Get our scissors, and can you see how it probably wouldn't have mattered, but can you see the overstamping? You probably can't. I'll get it up close. There's just some speckles of navy, and I just didn't know if that would show through, if that would be a problem. That's why I turned it over and stamped again. Now, silicone scissors would be the best thing for this in case you're getting gummy. But that's okay, we can just go back and trim again. So I'm just trimming this up to the cardstock. This takes a bit of precision. So we've had a nice weekend this weekend, just a quiet one. Friday night we went up to my son's up in Newcastle for dinner, and that was lovely, really nice. Haven't seen much of him, but we're seeing more of him now, so that was really nice. Okay, so that's that. So let's bring a layering piece back. And can you see what we're doing here? Layering that onto the blue. That looks just as good, even though it's portrait with the trees in the background. Where's my glue? Here it is. Just making sure. Yep. And can you see the texture? I don't know if you can see the texture. There we go. That shows the texture really well. So you don't try and press all those creases out. That's the technique. Okay. So thankfully, hubby was able to fix my sound situation that caused me grief on Friday with my card and my cuppa. There we go. So I'm just matting that onto a piece of Night of Navy. I'm sure I only have glue spurtage when I'm doing a video. I don't very often have it other times. But anyway. So now I'm going to bring my card base in and my beautiful embossed piece of boho blue. You can see how lovely that is. I am going to pop that down on my card front with glue, with my Tombow. So I was meant to have a class yesterday, but I didn't have anybody booked in. So I took the opportunity to do a little bit of crafting and watching some of the backstage videos, the on backstage online content, because I didn't go to Las Vegas because we were going away, and that was good. So because that's only going to be available for a while, so I wanted to make sure I got that sorted. Now let me see where I might put my sentiment this time, and whether I'm going to use the brightest, that one. I think I will, and I might just put it across the bottom here. I think that's where I'll put it. So let's put this on with dimensionals. So we took a little Rosie for a walk this morning, and that was nice. Had a coffee and some banana bread at a cafe, and then we walked it off. Okay, so let me just pop this and just sort of centering it up pretty much with the old eyeball. Now, let me think. Now, I've gotten gold embossing powder out with this, but I think silver's going to look nicer. I really do think silver and the blue will look nice. So let me just change my mind on that one. That's not silver. That's silver. Put my gold back. Sometimes you sort of have these realizations after you've gotten something out. So I think I'm going to, yes, and I could put it across like this, or put it this way. I'll put it over to the left and I'll have my bow up there. That's what we'll do. Okay, so here's my piece of cardstock, and I shall get my little embossing toolkit out. I don't need Night of Navy anymore, but I do need Versamark. Okay, so just with our embossing buddy, we're just going to rub that over, and that just gets any static off your cardstock, so that when you stamp and heat emboss the powder, hopefully you won't get any little bits of powder where you don't want it. Okay. Just let me grab the die and make sure I've got a long enough piece of cardstock. Oh yes. Just wanted to double check that. sprinkle our silver embossing powder over it. Now, you can't see that very well yet, but it'll come to life when we put the heat gun onto it. So I'll just pop this back in. Can't tell you how great this embossing toolkit is. It's the best thing. It's one of the best tools that I have. Love it. Put that lid back on before there's an accident. Oh, before I do that, I'll just grab this and I shall grab my heat gun, which is over on the windowsill. And this will be noisy for a minute. And you can see how that's come to life, and it's all shiny and beautiful. So now I can pop these things back in here. Now if you just bear with me a minute, I will just die cut that out. I won't bring my die cut machine over. Okay, here we have our beautifully embossed in silver sentiment. Where did I put my sample card? Here it is. I'm just trying to work out where I want it. I don't want to put it up here because there's this word decoration is right at the top, and I think that's really cute. So I'm thinking along here. Don't want to put it across the bottoms of my trees, so I'm thinking sort of half off, half on, or should I just put it down there? No, because then there's reindeer there. Okay, let's get, what can we get? Just wondering. I think I might use those actually. These were from a kit. But I just think that's going to be what I need down here. So I'm just going to put some dimensional strips, that didn't sound right. Now I don't need that one, that one's too much, so I shall get rid of it. I just need that one, yes. And I might put a little bit along here. And then the rest is my silicone mat. I shall put some snail up the top. But first of all, I should have double checked that all the holes had popped out. There we go. And we need to take the backings off. So these strips of dimensionals were from a kit, and I just didn't use all of them, so I pulled them out and put them over in my dimensional section. There we go. So that's that. And let me grab my silver trim. So this is in the online store. This gold and silver trim combo, that's in the online exclusive section. So I'm just going to tie a bow, a little bow. Well, see, it's not that little now, but I do need to work on that. I'm going to pop that there. And I'll attach that with a glue dot. Now when I'm attaching very small things like twine or this trim, I just get a glue dot and I roll it over and make it sort of half, because then there's not sort of excess glue dots sticking out that's going to get caught on things. Does that make sense? I think it does. So I'm going to just stick that up there. That, and now I'm going to get my bling. Now I was going to use the festive pearls, which I still will, but I just don't know if one of these is big enough to cover up that blob. I think it is. So we shall put one up here and one down here, and that's our card finished. So I will trim up the inside of the card. I'll show you what I did with the sample one, and I will do that. So on my sample card, I trimmed the inside with a layer of the smoky slate and a layer of the vanilla, and I just stamped some trees. So I will probably do the same for this card, but I won't do that now. I will finish that off later. So if you're going to place orders with the last chance product list, go to my blog. Let me get rid of that. To my blog and go over to the right hand side to the host code and click on the host code. It'll take you straight to my online store, and it automatically attaches the host code. So the host code just means I can buy little gifts for people who place orders over $70 with me. So that's what the host. That's why how I use the host code in my business. So I hope you like that card. It's pretty cool, and you can see the texture on the card front, the tissue paper. And if I didn't want those trees as bold, I could have stamped them off and done it stamped off. That might have been a good idea, but I don't mind them like that. Now, one more thing before we go. I have a class next Saturday if you're interested in coming along. It's 6 cards. Now, I'll change that date. It'll be the 25th. It's 6 cards using the One Horse Open Sleigh paper, which is from the online exclusives. So if you've got your own paper, you can bring that along and cut it up. If you've got your own paper, the class will be $20. If you don't have your own paper, then I've got a pack that I can cut and prepare for you, and the class will be $30. So there's those 3 using the beautiful One Horse Open Sleigh paper. And then there's these 3 as well. So if you'd like to book in, just send me a message via Facebook Messenger or email me, or put a comment in on the bottom of the YouTube video and let me know, and then I can have everything cut and prepared ready for you. So that's Saturday the 25th of November at 1:30 if you'd like to come along to that class. It's pretty much my last class of the year, except for I'm going to do a kit class in December. So I've got the festive tag kit. So there's 15 kit tags in this kit. So depending on how many people book in, I'm working on 1 tag per person. If I get 5 people, 1 of each tag per person. And then we've got the Christmas Everywhere kit. And once again, I'm working on one of each card per person. So that will be my classes in December. So I hope you enjoyed that faux silk technique. So I hope you enjoyed that card class or card technique. Got to get it right. There we go. So it's faux silk technique. So have a go, give it a try. Use the adhesive sheet rather than glue. I must tell you that's a much better option. So thank you for watching. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, blue thumbs, and like and share my YouTube video. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Friday for Card and a Cuppa. Bye.